We're going to record this today. Make sure you're on mute if you're not already. I think I just muted you, Mark. Today we're going to talk about Price Shopper. So if you get a customer that calls you up and tells you that they are, or not calls you, but you get out to the house and they tell you you're the first of three estimates or they have other estimates coming. Sometimes this can be extremely frustrating. Sometimes the process itself will eliminate eliminate that objection at the end. But this is for people that obviously you did a good job on. You got your commitments. Obviously, without the commitments, we're not in a position where we can hold them accountable on anything. So we have to make sure again that we are holding them accountable on the commitments that they gave us, and hopefully we did a good job selling or getting them to own the commitment, not just saying it. Again, there's a difference between owning the commitment and just saying it. So, and again, make sure that we are putting ourselves in a position to succeed, right? So at the end, after we've pre-closed, because remember how important that is that we pre-close. If we don't ask, is there anything besides price or payment, or obviously, John and Mary, there's nothing besides price or payment that's going to keep us from moving forward today, then we have to make sure that we are getting that commitment. If we don't get that commitment at the end of it, there's too much room that they can wiggle out of it. And we're not trying to get that wiggle. So the whole purpose is we want to make sure that we eliminate any of those objections at the end of it, because obviously we worked our butt off to this point with giving a massive presentation, great inspection, all those things that are important. So now fast forwarding to the end, we want to make sure that we are putting ourselves in a position to succeed. You and I both know if you did your job, the only thing that a consumer would be looking for at the end of this is a cheaper price. So we've gone through, they're looking for the same thing at a cheaper price pretty much is what what it rolls down to. So you got to look at number one, let's put the thought at hand, right? We went over on Monday, and we've been talking about the nice people close, obviously when nice people like yourself tell me what to think about it, generally means one or two things. Haven't found the product, company, or warranty, that basically meets their needs. And we did share with you, yada, 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 yada. We went down that whole aspect, talking about, obviously, it's not the company. We talked about being in business over 30 years, basically the largest basic remodeling, full service remodeling in the United States, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of revenue that we did last year alone. Basically all W-2 employees, all factory trained installation, meaning that wasn't the problem, right? No. Second thing was a product. Obviously, we did talk about the windows and doors and the areas and challenges you were having with the racking. Basically, your seals were all damaged through there and bent to where the water management was no longer working correctly. So we had to remove the existing framework through there. Not to mention put a material like the Duracast, which is going to outlast the sun sitting there on the back of the house, and make sure that this was the last time you ever had to touch these windows, right? Because you said that you didn't want to have to do this again. So we've really realized with the colors, options, choices that we chose, I don't think there was anything else we were looking for on a window. No. So it sounds like to me that solution's all good to go, right? With the installation and everything. Last thing would be the warranty. You said that not only you love the Pella warranty, but you also fell in love with the Dream Style warranty, knowing that we cover you for the entire lifetime that you're on the house, kind of like an insurance policy behind the policy that we talked about. So making sure that there's nothing else that you'd be looking for in a warranty. No. So it sounds like to me the Dream Style side is all good. So it's just got to be the money. So let me ask you, basically, how's that 373 fit in the budget, which is what we went over on Monday. So just rehashing that. Now, sometimes you got to take closes, even though they can be very similar to the same thing. Sometimes you got to take them for what they are. So somebody still tells you at the end of it, yeah, Dustin, I love it, but, I've got one other estimate, and I really owe it to this person to have them come out because I did set the time. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. And I'm recording this video, so if I'm going a little too fast for you, you can rewind and rewatch again. But there's two different avenues, right? So what I like to, depending on the situation, number one, if they tell you they love everything and they're not even balking the appointment, you can use this first of two things. Okay. First thing would be, John and Mary, obviously, just like myself, people come out here and they work for a fee for service. And obviously people try to feed their families, right? And obviously if that that they're going to put a material out. We shared with you earlier all the materials. Which one of these, if you put a material, would you want if you didn't want to put the Duracast in? And hopefully they tell you nothing. So if you did your good job there, then they're not going to tell you they want anything else. So, quite frankly, that guy, the gentleman or female or whoever would come out after me, quite frankly, they're going to be out there, trying to show you what they have and trying to make a living the same way as we're sharing with you today. You did say that everything in here was a fit. The only thing you want to do is give that guy an opportunity or that woman an opportunity. So let me ask you something. If you're calling them out here with no intention to buy, just to be nice, realizing the gas is $3.40 a gallon, he or she doesn't get paid unless they sell something. Do you really feel like you're doing them the best favor by inviting them out just for you to tell them no? So sometimes you can do it. So really, canceling an appointment would be doing a great thing for them, and not to mention saving you hours of your day when you've already know you've got the right fit here. Sounds like to me, really, if we were able to offer you a little better incentive, that we could go ahead and move forward today. Remember, we share with you the cost savings program, and then boom, go with that. Try to get them to cancel their appointment. That's the nature of the beast. I never want to let anyone come in after me after I've done a great job presenting, and I've taken them through the whole model and everything just because they got a cheaper price means they're going to get the business. How's that fair? So again, I put them in that real life scenario because sometimes real life scenarios make a big deal. And I've closed a lot like that. Say, gentlemen, hey, again, thanks for sharing that. I'm sure that you're fantastic people, because if you want to honor your promise and have them come out to do the estimate, I completely get it. And, who am I to tell you not to do that? Now, you did share with me today that everything was a fit, right? You love the company, the product was the right color, solution, everything you wanted to do there. You love the warranty, everything. There's nothing else you were looking for, right? So, ultimately what's going to happen, and I feel really bad for the gentleman or miss coming out here, because they're coming out here just for you to tell them no anyways, right? Because that we talked about earlier, all the different products in here. What one of these products would you want that we didn't carry today for you? Well, nothing. So what would you be hoping to do except for being nice and allowing him to come out and basically spend his gas, his time, his money? Figure it. I'm sure they probably have a family just like I do that they want to get home and see. And if you canceled the appointment rather than called them out just to spend $3.40 or 50 cents a gallon, almost $4 a gallon in some cases, just to come out here and for you to tell them no, do you think that's really fair to them? And do you feel like that you could use that hour and a half to 2 hours of your time better used for something else? Come on, guys, it's not really about getting the other estimate. It's about doing the right thing. And if the right thing is you already know doing this, if we can offer you that cost savings program to move forward, I can call for you if you'd like and go ahead and cancel that appointment. More of a subtle approach. John and Mary, hey, again, we're going to pause our 4 seconds. Remember, it's hypothetical. It's not actually 4 seconds. So you wait for them to stop moving around and grunting and doing all the things they're doing after they see that initial visit savings. Or not initial visit savings, excuse me, the coupon price. So John and Mary, to hold the whole value, to do the whole project, is at $34,376. Can you see with everything we got to do to correct the issues and challenges on the house, how we hold that $34,276 a good value to take care of the project on your home? Yes. Great. Now, obviously, we're not asking you to pay that because we did call a promotional discount. Remember I shared with you earlier, our anniversary sale is still in place. I can't believe it. I thought it would already be gone by now. So if you want to take advantage of it, I can't promise you how long it's going to be here, but it's probably the best one I've ever seen. So that's going to save you a total of 25% off, save you $8,436 off the project. Take your total investment down to only, $21,746. Or what more of our savvy customers do, they either take advantage of 12 months, no interest, no payment program, or they open an account at $346 a month for 60 months. Let me ask you, how does that $346 fit in the budget? Dustin, hey, it looks good, but we still got one more estimate coming out before we make a decision, and we want to see really what they have to say. Okay, I know that at that point, most of us want to punch them in the face because we feel like we've done our job. Frustration can come out. Anger can get riled up into you. You can almost get dumbfounded because you thought you deserved the order and, there's nothing to go. But realize at this point, you can't get defensive. You know, they're just throwing up their normal homeowner tactics because let's face it, two people sitting there, if they have somebody they might have talked about or created a bomb before you walked in saying that, hey, no matter what, we're not buying today, anything. Sometimes you'll find they don't even have another estimate. They just told you that just to nice you out of the house. So you got to really take them and put common sense and logic back into play. And my favorite one goes like this, right? Now you got to set it up right. If you don't set it up right, you're not teeing the ball up, even though you might have a perfect golf swing. If I don't tee the ball up right before I hit that swing, I might shank it because my ball might not be low enough or high enough. It might be not right on the tee. So again, when I'm striking the ball, it might go off to the right, might go off to the left because I didn't set it up correctly. So in theory, using golf analogy here, I have to set this close up correctly or it's not going to work or be as effective as it could be. Okay? So let me give you this little instance. So, you know, Dustin, we're going to get that other estimate, and we thank you for everything, and we'll give you a call in a couple of days. Okay? So remember, we're going to pause and not really say anything until they look at us and ask us a direct question. So once they look at us and ask us a direct question, then we're going to go like this. They're going to ask it to us. We're going to look. We're going to shake our head, look down, look up. You know, John, hey, completely get it, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, it really sounds like to me the only reason we're not moving forward is just the fact that you're going to get that other estimate. Is that it? Nothing else? Yeah, that's it. Great. So that's a setup, right? Same thing as we learned on Monday and we've learned, you know, throughout the last year and a half. That's the setup. I've got to isolate that objection before I go attacking it. If I don't isolate that objection and I ask that nothing else question and something else were to come out, now I can't do it. If I just roll right into this next close without doing that, then it's going to go from that objection to a different objection, to a different objection. Then finally I say, well, I just don't even know if I'm going to do it at all. So again, we got to stop that. We have to basically isolate that objection so we know what we're solving. Sorry to be so long-winded, but I have to make my point that if you don't set it up correctly, this will not work. Okay. This is what I call Tom Hopkins 101. Still works today. It's beautiful. It goes like this. So, you know, John, I completely appreciate it, man. Thanks for being such a nice person that, you know, and obviously I know that other estimate seems like it's important to you, right? You know, when nice people like yourself tell me that they're going to still get another estimate, which we're 100% okay with, not a big deal. We don't need your business. We value it. But generally, most people are looking for three different things. They're looking for the best quality product with the best service and guarantees for the cheapest price. Now, today we went through a lot of things, man. We looked at the product, right? You love the product. You know, you love the service guarantees. And, you know, the price, I think, is the one thing we can agree that maybe you weren't the most excited about, right? But, you know, I bet you when you go out there looking for, you're going to look for somebody that carries almost the same exact thing I do with the same service and guarantees for a cheaper price. Would that be fair? Mm-hmm. You know, I've been doing this a long time in the industry, and I haven't found anyone or anybody that even comes close to that. You know, matter of fact, I search basically, you got to know your competition almost better than you know yourself. And unfortunately, there's nobody that does what we do in here. You're not going to find the best quality products, especially in your condition and environment you're dealing here. That's going to come with the best service guarantees. You might get 2 years max on any kind of warranty through that. And number one, it's definitely going to give you the cheapest price with that. It doesn't exist. So let me ask you guys something. Even if you do get one estimate, why stop at one? Why not get 5 or 10 or 15 or 20, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're looking for a unicorn, it might not exist, right? So for long-term happiness, which one of those three are you willing to give up? Is it quality, no, service and guarantees? No. So it's got to be cheap price, right? So let me ask you another question. It's not about the other estimate. It's about the affordability. So let me ask you, how much too much are we? Does that 373 need to be more like 275, 300? What are we really thinking here? 300. So if I can get to 300, is that the only reason we couldn't move forward today? So again, if you see what I did, I used a basic close, but I used the situation and condition I was in. So the basic close goes like this. Right? John and Mary, when people look to make a decision like this, generally they look for three things. They look for one, the best quality product, two, with the best service and guarantees, three, for the cheapest price. John and Mary, I've been in this industry a long time. That's true, right? You got product, you got warranty and service, and you got price. Those are three things that people look for, right? A lot of times they don't even pay attention to the company. They don't pay attention to a lot of things. They want to make sure that the service guarantee is backed by the company that's going to be here. Remember, we talked about 96% of all contractors fail, 80% of people taking the cheapest bid had big problems getting completed. This part's pretty big. So again, we talk about that. So again, backing up. So John and Mary, we're going to like Jim for the best quality product, the guarantees, 3 for the cheapest price, right? Then you roll onto this. I don't care if you're, like Cynthia and you've been doing this for, 3 weeks, or you've been like some of us or myself that's been doing it for close to 20 years. I've been in this industry a long time, guys. And one of the things I found is there's no one out there that you're going to find that actually carries the best quality products with the best service guarantees for the cheapest price. Right? So when it comes time for long-term happiness, which one of those 3 would you want to give up? And you ask the question, is it the quality of the product? Is it the service and guarantees? So it's got to be the cheap price. So let me ask you, John and Mary, so the $373 a month, how much too much is that $373 a month? Were you thinking more like $275, $300, or you can adjust with the price? We're trying to get them to a point. If they tell you they're going to pay cash at this point, and that's why they're trying to search, either we didn't do a good enough job or we forgot to sell the payment, or basically there's a dollar figure they had in mind. We're going to talk about that next, but I want to roll through this one more time so you get the word track down, right? And using it, not so just it's the base. I'm going to use basic words first. So I'm going to put it in a role play again so you can kind of hear it. The first one is John and Mary, nice people like yourself tell me they're going to get another estimate and they're dead set on it. Because it sounds like to me that's the only reason we're not moving forward and nothing else, right? Remember, I got to set it up right, just like my golf tee. If I don't set my ball up on the tee, when I strike the ball, it's going to be off. So again, John and Mary, but nice people like yourself tell me that they want to get a different estimate. Sounds like to me that's the only reason we're not moving forward. That's it, nothing else, right, Mike? Yeah. You got to act like, and your voice has to act like you don't give a shit. Excuse my language. You got to act like you don't care. It doesn't bug you at all that they said that. You don't care. Because if you get emotionally attached or start asking, what else would you be looking for? What do you mean, what's going on? I mean, you found everything you did, right? Then literally you're being combative. If you get combative here, they're going to pull away, not pull forward. They're not going to allow you to help, right? People don't like for people to be combative. So the next piece. So again, John and Mary, you know what? Hey, completely understand. Sounds like to me the only reason we're not moving forward today is the fact that you just want to get another estimate. Is that correct? That it, nothing else? Great. So when nice people like yourself generally tell me that, it generally means they're looking for 3 different things, right? It's the best quality product with the best service guarantees for the cheapest price. Might I be right? Yeah. Take a look at that. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you're probably trying to find somebody that's going to carry the same exact thing we're going to carry, and basically with the same servicing guarantees for a cheaper price. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I've been in the industry a long time. And basically, I've never found anybody that carries the same quality products with the same service and guarantees for a cheaper price. So really, especially with the installation, some of the stuff you have on here, let me ask you, for long-term happiness, which one of those 3 would you be willing to give up? Would it be quality of the product? No. How about service and guarantees? No. So really, it's got to be cheapest price, right? So again, how much too much are we taking a look at? So we've got to make sure what we're doing is putting ourselves in a position to succeed, not to fail, right? So at that point, I want to take it back to the money. If they tell you it's cash and they're stuck on cash, for a fact they've saved up money, but not that much money. So they're trying to stay within a budget. Maybe their budget was from their tax return, especially right now when tax returns come back, right? They got $5,000 in the account, or $20,000 if they're trying to do a $50,000 account, and they're one of those $20,000 millionaires. Right? They got $20,000 in the account and feel like they're a millionaire, so they can't wait to spend it. So you got to take them, you got to meet them where they're at in life. So let's say that I'm at 19, but they only saved up 10. Well, now you realize I don't need to sell 19. I need to sell 9. And I've got to make sure that I make the 9 make sense, because it's really that I want to get other estimates is exactly what you just said. It's trying to find the same thing at a cheaper price, right? So I want to identify that. So one more time, just that way you've heard it 4 times now, okay? So next, John and Mary, hey, sounds like to me, well, Justin, hey, we're going to get another estimate no matter what you say. Just basically, we always do that. We always get one more estimate, and that's really where we're at. And we thank you for your time. You can email us a quote, right? So I sat back. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's important to you 100%. Thanks for sharing that, Mike. Sounds like to me, definitely the only reason we're not moving forward is just the fact that you're going to get another estimate. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Is that it? Nothing else?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when nice people like yourself tell me that they're going to get another estimate, generally means they're looking for one of three things, right? Looking for the best quality products with best service and guarantees for the cheapest price. So, Mike, I've been in this industry a long time, and one of the things I can tell you in our industry, it's got a bad enough reputation knowing 96% of all contractors fail, but there's no one out there that's going to give you the best quality products, the best service and guarantees for the cheapest price. We talked about all the different options that are available, and you said you didn't want any of those other options. So quite frankly, all you'd be trying to do is find the same exact thing we're trying to give you today with the same service and guarantees for the cheapest price, and I don't believe that exists. So for your long-term happiness, Mike, which one of those three would you be willing to give up? Would it be quality of the product?
No.
What about service and guarantees? So it's got to be cheap price. So let me ask you an honest question. It's not about the other estimate at all. It's just about making sure that what you pay is affordable. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously, if we're at 19,746, and basically we had that 373 a month, is it the 373 a month or is it the 19,476?
The 19,476.
Okay. Now I've got to go over here and figure out how I justify that cost, right? So do I do a return on investment? Do I basically find out early? Hopefully, I said, what's utility bill in a house like this cost? What, $1,000, $1,200? They tell me now we pay like $400 a month. So hopefully I've done a good job setting myself up to where now I've showed them that basically with STG&E's hike, that's going to be $518 for that same $400 payment. So I want to make sure again, then I show them how much they've already paid for their house, how much they're paying. And even then I might bring in insurance into the equation and use an insurance clause to reduce to the ridiculous. Because I need to make sure that I'm taking that dollar figure down. But the price shopper clause, I don't want to talk about that part of it today. We'll do that on a whole nother meeting. But the price shopper part of it, you have to get them off of that bullshit objection. Because really, when somebody else wants to price shop you or they want to go basically get another estimate, it just means if you've done your job, they're trying to find the same thing as what you do at a cheaper price. So you have to remind them that you know exactly what they're doing. That's why I always love it. You got to isolate it first, make sure that's it, nothing else. And then you're taking it back to the money again. Everything we do is designed to take it back to the money. So again, no matter if you're doing them with nice people like yourself, tell them to think about it. James, one or two things. Means they haven't found the product company or warranty fits in their budget. We know that's not it. You're 100% comfortable with the dream style side. There's got to be the money. So how much too much is 373? Question 2, which is your price shopper. John and Mary, hey, thank you so much for sharing it. Sounds like to me that's the only reason we're not moving forward is the fact you want to get another estimate, correct? That's it, nothing else. Great. Generally, when people like yourself tell me they're going to get another estimate, it means one of three things, right? They haven't found, basically looking for the best quality products. Is that correct? With the best service and guarantees. Third, for the cheapest price. I've been in this industry a long time, and I can tell you that there's no one out there that's going to give you all three. They can't give you the best quality products, the best service guarantees for the cheapest price. For your long-term happiness, which one of those three are you willing to give up? Is it quality of the product? No. What about service and guarantees? No. What about the cheapest price? That's what you're going to have to give up. So let me ask you a question again. How much too much is the 373? They say, well, it's not that. It's the money itself. Then we have something to tackle. Then we can go back to and do plus, minus, multiply, divide. It means that we're taking benefits away. We could have made a cheaper product or we could have chosen to put a different product in here. But again, that's not going to do what we needed to do in basically your condition here. Because if I'm not isolating and identifying that, I can't do it. But the price shopper clause, that should eliminate that objection. If they won't get off of it, there's something else that's missing. Either you failed to build value, you missed commitments and didn't get that. You're 100% comfortable or 100% confident, trust in Dreamstar modeling. Maybe you use the word comfortable. maybe use the word, this is the type of company you're comfortable with. That's all horrible stuff. That's going to leave doors open at the end of it. But again, closing's an art. It's such an art. You can't sit there and basically ever get defensive. You have to sit back and relax. This is where basically we call drive for show, putt for dough. You have to basically, once they give you that first objection, you have to be comfortable with it. You have to embrace it. You have to make sure that you're not getting defensive. You have to act like they're no. You could care less. Not be arrogant about it, but not be buckled by it at all. You got to make it feel like it's not a big deal. So, hey, that's great, John. It sounds like to me, basically you just want to get another estimate. Is that it? Nothing else? Okay. Well, generally, Mike, when nice people like yourself tell me they're going to get another estimate, they're really looking for three different things, right? The best quality product, the best service guarantees for the cheapest price. Let me ask you, I've been in this industry a long time, and I can tell you those three don't exist. So let me ask you, Mike, for your long-term happiness, which one of those three would you be willing to give up, right? Is it quality product? Mm-hmm. How about service guarantees? Mm-hmm. So it's got to be cheap price, man. So if you're looking for that, you'll find a cheap price all day long, but what are you willing to sacrifice? And you told me you're not willing to sacrifice quality of product, not the service guarantees. I mean, so come on, man. Of course, we're at 19,176 compared to the 10 that you budget, but it's a lot more project than you expect to spend a day, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a lot more project you expect to spend a day. What a lot of nice people like yourself do is they take part of that and put it towards a project, which will bring the monthly investment down. And you said, tell your guy, if you're going to start something, you plan on finishing it soon, right? Mm-hmm. That time I'm going to break out to a starter package, or I'm going to reduce to the ridiculous and try to show him how he can afford it. Now, I got to be careful on a cash deal because I push them into more than they're comfortable affording. I might get it canceled. So I might need to draw that back down to do something to stay within the 10 or close to it. Because if I double what their budget is and I leave, I might be able to get the yes, but I don't want a rescission hitting the door. So again, I got to think about what's the best thing for my long-term success. Maybe I start with the 10 now and then wait till next year when they get their tax return, then come back and get another one. I can set myself up for an arc. The biggest thing is like a dog does when they walk by a fire hydrant, you got to mark your territory, right? We got to mark our territory and get some product in that house so we have the opportunity to go back and help them with something else. If we don't get our opportunity and don't go back to the house and try to figure out what we have and then what we can do to try to get more product inside that house, then we're failing. So with that said, if anybody has any questions, that's really what I wanted to go over today are those two things. The price shopper close, I feel like if you get good at that thing, it's it. It's Tom Hopkins 101, but it's a little on steroids. So when we take it, it will work. But again, you have to set it up correctly. And you can't sound like a cheesy, corny sales guy. You got to make it part of the program. So if I'm one more time acting like I'm part of that program, then I'm going to say, guys, hey, I completely understand. It sounds like to me you want to get another estimate just because you're not comfortable, right? You want to be comfortable with the decision? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, generally, Mike, what people look for when they're going to get another estimate is three things, right? Look for the best quality products, the best service guarantees for the cheapest price. I assume that's what you're out there searching for? Right. Okay. So, today we shared with you about Impervia and a lot of the different things too there with the Duracast material, why we needed to use that on the back of the house with how hot it's getting over through here. Mm-hmm. Talked about basically that, the powder coated finish, how that's all baked on, which is going to protect us. And we talked about the Harley Davidson finish or the John Deere finish, how they sit out there all day long in the sun and they look just the same as they do 20 years down the road. We also talked about basically the sun defense glass made the base to make sure that we're protecting the heat coming in, not to mention fanning of floors and things that are important to you. You wouldn't be willing to give any of those away, right? Okay, so we talk about the quality of installation and what we needed to do since the tracks in there were no longer working correctly and they were old. We wouldn't want to just shove something back in the old track. The installation part of it has a big deal on why the service and guarantees are going to be there. You wouldn't be willing to give any of that up, right? Okay, so the service and guarantees, we talked about basically, the warranty, and no matter after you're done paying for it, that it's the last time you ever have to pay for anything again. You're not going to out there and service charge you to death where you might feel like you get a lifetime warranty, but like Sears shows up and it's $150 or $75 to service your lifetime warranty every time they show up, right? Knowing you don't have to pay any out of pocket for the rest of the time you own the house. How does that make you feel? Is there anything else you'd be looking for in the warranty or service aspect we would be taking care of you? About the fact, too, you got a liaison that's going to follow your process from beginning to the end. I mean, we could have cut corners on that and give you that indirect contact where you didn't have one number to call if there's a problem, but you said you wouldn't accept that, right? Okay. So honestly, besides what I know of what we do, there's nothing else that exists in the industry like that. So let me ask you, long-term happiness, Mike, which one of those three would you be willing to give? Is it the quality of the product that we need on the house to fix the conditions and environments out here?
No.
The quality of installation of the service and guarantees we just talked about?
No.
So, but it's got to be priced, right? So obviously it's more money you expected to see today, but you see you're getting a lot more for your money, and this is the last time you ever want to do the project, right?
Yeah.
So basically, let me ask you, how does that 373 fit in the budget? That's what it should look like rolling through in the house. It doesn't sound corny. It doesn't sound canned. It doesn't sound beat up. You're just identifying, taking it right back to the paint again. And again, this is recorded today. I know for a fact. I thought the last one was recorded, but it wasn't. So I can give this to you guys. Anybody have any questions? You want to unmute yourself and ask why we're on here this morning?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, this situation I was in the other night is exactly what you're talking about. She wanted 3 estimates. I was the second one. The first one was renewal by Anderson, which was a lot higher. She wanted the third, but then she did say, you know, if I just want something under $10,000, which was like her, and I had it like 10,700, but you know, for me to go down to 10,000 is going to bring it under green line and all that. And I was kind of going back and forth with Mark about it, but what would you do in that case scenario?
Well,
like
I would
only $100 away. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I would absolutely, for $700, I would reduce the ridiculous. And I would say, I would point blank look at her. You know, the first thing I would say, obviously, are you telling me you're going to let $700 come between you and the windows you want and deserve? That'd be the first question I ask. And I'd look puzzled by it. And then if she said yes, I said, well, let's go ahead and take this off and show you how ridiculous that is. Now, how long did it take you to save up the $10,000? That would have been the first question that I asked. Because maybe she's been saving up 3-4 years. Maybe it was a tax return. There's some other reason behind why $10,000 is the nugget of money that she's going to pay, right? So we got to find out what that reason why is first, because we got to isolate the objection and figure out why $700 more isn't capable when she's spending 10 already, right? So my other fun line I like to throw at that, it gets people thinking. Can I ask you a question? What would make you feel like it would be a good idea to throw away $10,000 to save $700? Does that even close to make sense? She's going to say, no, probably not. Well, can I show you how $700 really is not much money at all? So if I take a look at that $700, and I just take that based on 1 year, not even this, you know, basically that's $13.40 a week, 46 cents a week, which literally means the day is $1.92 a day. So let's just round it up to $2. Is there anything you spend $2 a day on that you could cut back on to afford the windows you want and deserve? Again, we're talking the difference between you doing this right and taking a chance to do it wrong is $2. And if I leave here today, I know you're not going to call me back if you're already griping about $700 and pay 10% more. So you're talking about paying $1,000 more than what you would pay tomorrow just to basically go get another estimate to find out what? That either they're going to be more expensive, they're not going to be what you want. Now, not only did you lose out on 10%, but you lost out on $700. So you're going to lose more by not moving forward than you're going to gain by trying to save the $700. Let me ask you 3 questions. Do you need it? Do you want it? And really, for $700, can you afford not to do it? That's how I'd handle that, Cynthia. Or I'd take it back and show them how we could cut $700 out of the cost by taking away things and ask them if they're willing for us to take those away. And if they're not, then basically, so it means it's worth it to you, correct? So what is it that makes that $700 too much? That's how I do it. I'd reduce it to the ridiculous, and I'd take it down to $2 a day and show her how stupid it is not to spend $2 a day on getting the window she wants and deserves. Because if 3-4 years down the road, something happened and no one were there to take care of her. Because remember, 96% of contractors fail in 2 years. So her risk that she's willing to waste by $700, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is probably less money than she pays for 1 month worth of insurance. That for her house, her basic health insurance, dental insurance, auto insurance, all those insurance she pays, where if that month she doesn't use her insurance at all, she paid all that money without getting anything back in return. Here it's a little more money than she's expecting to spend, but for $2 a day, I mean, that's just call it insurance for a month. If you're already paying basically $700 to $900 a month for insurance, what's another $2 a day for just 12 months? That's kind of how I would do it. I'd reduce it to the ridiculous. And what you do, Cynthia, on that is you take the $700, you divide it by 52 because there's 52 weeks in a year, and then you divide it by 7, and that's going to give you what your daily amount difference would be that you need to sell. Is that helpful?
Yes, it's helpful. I don't even know if I had her that close though, because she's like, you know, I told her that I wouldn't be able to give her the cost savings program, and she's like, well, that's fine then. I'll, you know, hopefully I'll get something cheaper. So I probably just didn't have her close enough, you know. And you know, we were even emailing afterwards, and she's just like, I just wanted under 10,000, and you know, it was pretty.
And sometimes too, Cynthia, I always say, especially because you're on a good run, that I'm not telling you to give anything away, but every now and then you got to take one to get one. And what I means is sometimes in your momentum, sometimes just the fact of being that $700 difference, call Mark or I, and if we can get it down to that number real close to it, then you can see you'll probably walk away with that sale. I would never leave the house. If it's $700 difference, you wouldn't see me leaving that house until I got that business, because that's so close. That's so close. It means you did a good enough job to get to have the difference of $700. Now you just got to finish the rest of the way. So when you get in that situation again, call myself or call Mark, and I don't care if you hit 911 on your text message. We will make sure you walk out of there with that deal. If not, we'll know she's an idiot. There's nothing we could have done to fix it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Any other questions before we get off? All right. With that said, guys, appreciate you getting out here this morning. Hopefully you took away a couple good nuggets this morning to help you out. Again, Price Shopper close, and then the I Want to Think About It close. Both those were kind of reviewed on this call. But again, those two right through there, two of the major closes that you're going to basically run into. So again, if you can get past those closes and help get it back to the money again, which is what we're all trying to do, then again, you're going to be twice as successful, and we will see you on the board. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and let's continue basically the good run we're having. Last couple of days, we've closed quite a few deals, so we want to keep that run going. Again, I'm not paying attention to the dollar volume. I'm paying attention to the KPIs. So closing percentage, revenue per lead, average sale. Manage those KPIs, and volume will take care of itself. With that said, guys, have a great day, and we will see you soon.